Okay, welcome back to KSP, Realistic Overhaul series. Last time, I don't know if you remember, I think it's been a few days now since I uploaded a video for this series, but we had some decent sounding rockets, which just chucked a rough payload into space. We actually managed to get it into space. So yeah, what we were working with last time was... Where was it done? Was it on there? Space probe, I think. Yep, that's the one. That's the one we were working with last time, which was basically just this really basic science thing, basically. It just had a chunk of experiments on this side, a chunk of experiments on this side, and a Sputnik probe. And then, obviously, it was using the Atlas to launch it. Save. And now, 10 stages, 11 stages, I think 11. This is what we're going to be working with next. This is the new rocket, which just uses some of the most powerful engines that we've got available to us at the moment. So we're using that as a central engine, the RD-108, and then 4 of the RD-107s around the edge. And that's pretty much the bulk of the thrust is in there. Quick look under the hood, and we have, hopefully, what will be the first orbital probe satellite thing, for want of a better phrase. I mean, it's... I don't know why it does this graphically. There we go. Yeah, it's got a couple of Sputnik antennas on it. It's got the Able Avionics core there, and it's got the Explorer probe. Mainly to max out the measurements, really. So... Okay, so here we are. We are on the launch pad. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm genuinely hoping that test flight doesn't screw us over here, since it's had a habit of doing that before, shall we say. Obviously, we're not using any electricity at the moment because we're still connected to the station. But okay, so fingers crossed. Here we go. Ignition, and we've got an engine failure. Okay, well, engine shut down. Game, set, match. You can see this is not going to be an entertaining launch profile. With the amount of engines we have, it's just going to fail, 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 and fail. And fail. Oh, double failures. Ooh, we have decent ignition. Excellent. Oh no, why? Again. What? Performance loss. Why? Ignition. Good. Right, we're actually moving. I don't know. I don't mind it for the realism side of it, but sometimes, like, this is basically I've just wasted. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yep, there goes another one wasted. The failure rate, or at least not publicly as far as I know. For fuck's sake. Okay. Right, well, you do get the data points, so the data units are there. So we're going to proceed on the grounds that its test flight is working. Should have. Okay, firstly, apologies that this is a night flight. To be honest, I was still expecting a test flight to screw us over. As it happens, it didn't. So we got a decent launch. We actually make it, spoiler alert, to orbit. Not that the title of the video didn't give this away already. Yeah, it's a hard one. I decided to keep the footage, given how awkward test flight was being with the number of engines that we had and how often they'd been used before, etc. It was better to keep the night launch that worked in than the other. Well, as you can see from the previous footage, there was just failure after failure after failure because of test flight data. It just did not want to allow me to get a launch profile. There was still an engine failure on this, but it was literally as I was staging, so it made luckily no difference. I've toned the sound down at this point because I didn't zoom out far enough for the recording, unfortunately, so the engine sound is just ridiculously large. But yes, we have a good burn profile here, and despite having, this is my one worry, is despite having 5 engines, one of which is different in the center, they actually all have the perfect burn time because of the fuel mix I put in. So they all cut out at the exact same point in time. As you can see, it's a fairly, touch wood for the next episode, but it's a fairly uneventful launch this time. As all I do is I use Smart SAS just to poke the nose over and balance the apoapsis, time to apoapsis. So it's very uneventful. I'm going to cut and fast forward the rest of this part of the launch and jump to where we stage. So we got a performance loss at the last second on one of those engines. Right, so we are actually getting closer to apoapsis now. It is still going up. I don't want to pitch down though. I want to stay either horizontal or. I think we're going to end up about 400,000 meters. I don't really want to go much higher than 400,000, but this is the one drawback. All these, look, still only have one ignition. Let's pitch down slightly. Just until the apoapsis stops creeping up. There, oh, okay, so now it's plummeting. Oh, it's plummeting. Basically, all I'm doing is I'm just chasing the apoapsis around the planet, getting more lateral speed. Sorry, that just got louder. It zooms in when you go to map view. do have inordinate amounts of hidden delta V with HTP in the upper stage. So this is literally just about trying to brute force. Let's go back to 0. Trying to brute force my way around the planet. My worry is not that this doesn't have enough delta V, it's that it remains stable enough for long enough to be able to do it. Because I think we need... I can't remember what orbital speed is without having to look it up. There we go. So we're about to make orbit, I believe. This could be it. There's the camera pan. And we'll kill that stage. Whew. So we actually just made orbit. We actually just made orbit. Let's stitch this thing. Oh. Right. Okay. We actually made it to orbit. We are in an orbit. It's very uneven at the moment, but we're in it. It is a probe. I don't know how to spell the gatherer. Gatherer? Science harvester. No. Right, that's it. It's a probe. It's named. I have a huge amount of delta V left. There you can see I actually have 4,000 meters per second of delta V. So we could, can't quite highlight the tank, unfortunately, I don't think, because there's, but you can't see, there's this little aerobee engine here. And we actually have lateral control because of the RCS. Which, as you can see, has a lot of HTP to use, and it's nice and stable and won't degrade over time like some of the liquid-based nitrogen propulsion stuff will do. Let's turn that back off again. Let it drift. Put normal SAS on. Right, what did we get? We got a stage destroyed and improved record. Cool. Ooh, science. Yep. definitely take that lot. We're on quite an elliptical orbit, so we should get to cover quite a bit of... There we go. Oh, it's glorious science. The sun should now be on us, though, so after this is finished broadcasting, we should be recharging, not spending. Why did it send a lot of data? No, it's not recharging.
Right, just a quick update, unfortunately for me, as I'm currently figuring out in the background, no matter which aerials, antennas, or whatever I try to disable, there's never enough solar power to recharge the batteries. And as a result, as I'm beginning to realise now, this is going to become a piece of dead space debris after about 18 hours in orbit, something like that. So I swapped my focus. I'm busy trying to reorientate to the sun and everything here, and it just none of it particularly works. Unfortunately, not enough recharge power. So this top stage needs a slight redesign in order to be able to cope with an indefinite duration of time in space. Because I do want an indefinite probe that acts as a relay satellite early on. But yes, so I decide just to go for raw science collection while it's still alive.
Ooh. Oh no. No, whatever. Aha, got him. More science. Back. Direct sunlight, 2.2 watts. 0 watts. Why is that 0? It's in partial sunlight. 3.3, 2.2. We're generating quite a large amount of energy. I just don't understand where it's actually going. It'll be different when we can get huge extendable solar panels, which hopefully we can get with the science we've just unlocked. So I may as well point at the node because we're not actually gaining anything. We're trying to orientate to the sun.
So yeah, just to fast forward through this lot, I mean, effectively, all I was doing was zipping around the planet, gathering as much science as possible. It's pretty much space debris at this point, it just hasn't realised it yet. So, there we are. Got some science. That's pretty much it. I mean, we just ran this thing into the ground. I just stayed with it, basically, while it orbited at faster speeds, just hoping to collect as much science as possible.
electricity warning. That will be critical. We are about to have no power. I do not think we will obtain much more science now. That's all she wrote. But we are back up to 87 science from that. So we will, let's have a look. Let's purchase that part. Purchase those parts. We've got better solar panels, better communication. Early controllable cores, definitely. Infrared radiometer. Aha, yes. That is what I've been waiting for. Now we're beginning to get orbital. That's what I've been waiting for, because that is a reason to have a persistent satellite in a polar orbit. Crew survivability, I'm not really bothered about. Plus, it's a waste of science. So what's this? This is the solid rocket engines that gives the LTAM and baby Sergeant upgrade. Okay, not really. Orbital rocketry. Agena vacuum engine, yes. Boost series space plane. The Agena vacuum engine. So yes, I'd say that's important. Heat shields. What's this? This is early flight control. Ah, RCS. You've got the quad thrusters. Okay, so just another brief update. Basically what I was doing here, I was trying to find the capsules, early capsules, so I could do in-atmosphere tests with the Kerbals. And long story short, I realized I was possibly missing a required mod because there was a couple of empty tech tree nodes. So I have since found those and added those, and now I haven't got empty tech tree nodes. And next time we should be looking at conducting on-ground sustainability tests for survivability in the pods. So hope you enjoyed this one, and I shall see you next time.